I hope you guys enjoy this discussion because I'm really excited to talk about Peacemaker.
My bad. Episode 5 through
Through
8
8,
because we
yes,
didn't get to do the past ones. So
yes.
let's talk about episode 5. I kind of need a recap because it's been a little while.
Okay, here's
But
my question really fast. Do we want to do an overview review of the season, and then we'll
mm,
discuss the episodes more in depth from like as we
yeah,
go?
let's do that.
Let's do an
Let's do that.
overview review of the season. Phil, season 2 of Peacemaker's done. It's over.
Mm,
James Gunn says there are no plans for a season 3, but he did say not right now. Okay.
mm-hmm,
There are plans though for a lot of these characters to show up in other things. So I want to know, Phil, with this being the second season and probably the final season,
mm-hmm.
what did you think of Peacemaker season 2 out of 10?
I thought Peacemaker. Rated out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to give this season an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really liked the start of it. I really liked towards the end, but I was a little not as excited when it did end. I still thought it was good though, because there's been a lot of people, let's be for real, there's been a lot of people complaining about, oh, well, it wasn't as good as the cameos in season 1. But I don't think that's where this season was meant to shine. I think this was more meant on getting to understand and know more of where these characters are at. Like, this was a character deep dive in my opinion. Like, I feel like this was to understand the
Yeah.
characters and understand why they're so important to each other. And I think it accomplished that very well. So I'm not even, and I'm usually a cameo guy. Like, I wasn't that upset that we didn't get like any crazy cameos in episode 8. But it still was just a little like a point one, point two, a little bit demotion from episode 8 of season 1, just a little bit. But I still thought this season was really good. I thought them going into, let's say, a universe that we're going to talk about in a little bit was unbelievably insane. I thought it was very creative. I do not condone what was going on in that universe, but I loved that James Gunn made it wacky. I love that James Gunn showed that we can really go anywhere with this DC universe that he's creating. And I think that's what you really need to do to differentiate yourself. Like, I think that's what makes this show really good. That, like, obviously, you guys are gonna get on me. I said I didn't like the theme song of Peacemaker, but I still think it is a very unique show, and I think that's what we need in this DC universe. I think that's what we need, and I think he accomplished that. But yeah, before we get into spoilers, that's just what I wanted to say.
Okay. So here's mine. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me to review the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for me to emphasize how much the first season meant to me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was a massive surprise. The Suicide Squad, as I said multiple times, is like one of my favorite superhero movies of all time, and
Mm-hmm.
Peacemaker is just a sequel to that, really, in like a different way. But it's definitely like it takes some of the characters and it adds to it, and it was just an incredible watch and something that I never expected to be as good as it was.
Mm-hmm.
So going into season 2, I expected it to be as good as season 1 because,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that's bad, maybe that's wrong of me, but I did because I was like, dude, it's the same person writing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna sit here and tell you that I actually think season 2 is as good, if not better, than season 1. And I know
Okay.
I'm crazy, and
Mm-hmm.
please hate me. I love it. Hate me all you want. Phil, I loved that last episode, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I've never smiled that hard in my entire life watching anything. I was
Mm-hmm.
so happy. It's hard for me to give a number score, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because my heart says a 10 out of 10, and usually that's like, oh, I'll say a 10 out of 10. But I think this season has, I just don't think it's that. So I'll say an out of 10, but, like, it's incredible. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this show is one of the best superhero like pieces of media ever. I think the
I'll
show is
agree to
genius
that
in its
for sure.
writing. I think this show is genius in its characters. I think it's wacky. The comedy is perfect. The action, when it's there, and I understand the season didn't have a lot of it, when it was there, it was so good. So
Mm-hmm.
all this to say, I think Peacemaker is literally incredible, and the second season made me so happy. And I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't be more blessed to watch a show this good, genuinely. Like, I love it so much. Everyone kills on all the performances. And I think if the first season was about Peacemaker becoming a superhero,
Mhm.
This season was about Chris becoming a person. And I
Yeah.
think that's the perfect way to like differentiate the two seasons,
Mhm.
because this I don't think was a superhero show really. It felt more like a drama in a really weird way. I think the characters really get put through the ringer, and there's a lot of stuff that's talked about and shared about their lives that was all so good and so well done, and the way it's
Yeah.
paced out throughout the seasons and the way it concludes in the ending was literally perfect. You
Mhm.
know, literally perfect. Um,
Yeah.
I want to say, man, should I talk about it when we talk about individual episodes? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, then I'll hold what I'm gonna say about the final episode. We'll
Mhm.
get really into it in the final episode because I have a lot to say
Yeah.
about it actually. But yeah, I love this show so much. I think it's arguably perfect, and I'm bummed there's no second, third season. Like, I think if I were to say anything that frustrates me
Mhm.
is, oh man, we're not getting a third. And we'll talk about it later. There's probably a different show they're gonna do that's gonna be the same characters, or they're gonna. I just think there's so much here still where like you can have it be about this new thing they're doing and still call it Peacemaker. And
Mhm.
it sucks that they're probably not gonna do that, but I'm very thankful for what this is because I think this is James Gunn's best work. Like, this is some of his best work for sure.
He did a good job on this season. I'm gonna give him that. I thought it was a good job.
Call me crazy, but I think everything he's done with DC has been better than what he's done with Marvel. I think Peacemaker season 1, 2, Suicide Squad, and Superman are better than all three Guardians movies, except maybe the third one.
You know, I think. Hmm. Yeah, I'll agree to that. Only because with Guardians of the Galaxy, I think that yes, it's wacky. Yes, it's very good story told, or very well told story. But like with the DCU, he went different avenues. Like there's different stuff with the Suicide Squad. There's different stuff with Superman. There's different stuff with Peacemaker. And then what was the other project? Creature Commandos.
Yeah,
Like these are
even
all
that,
different.
yeah.
Yeah, these are all different projects that he was able to create with these different characters. A lot of people probably didn't know, except for Superman, and did a really good job with. So I think I'm gonna agree with that. I'm
I
gonna agree
think
with that because there's my bad.
I think the first two seasons of Guardians, he's just constrained. I feel like he's like first season or the first movie,
Two
first
movies.
Guardians movie, yeah, first Guardians movie is very like him getting his legs in. You know, like that's I think his first big movie. He had a couple things he did super. He did a horror movie. I think it's called Slither. I might be wrong, but like
I don't know.
I think Guardians was like his first major blockbuster,
Yeah.
and he does a really good job. But I think he was like I think the DC really helped him like fully realize himself and is like, oh,
Mhm.
this is his personality on full display, and
Mhm.
I just love it so much. But anyways, Phil, you have anything to say before we get into like some of the episodes?
I just really am even more excited for the DCU finishing season two. Like I
Yeah,
know there's a lot of people who keep trying to trash on episode 8, and we'll talk about that soon. But me, I'm excited, bro. Cause just
I'm
like
too.
Gen B season two, like with these avenues we were talking about, there's so many avenues they can go in the DCU, especially with the next project coming up, Green Lantern, which I'm
Yeah,
so excited to see. But either way, we ain't here to talk about Green Lantern. We here
nah,
to talk about episodes 5 through 8 of season 2 of
yeah.
Peacemaker. So let's get into it, Izzy.
All right, Phil. So
What
let's
did
talk
you think
about
of episode 5? Oh
yeah,
my
let's talk
bad.
about for episode 5. Episode 5, Back to the Future. Um, this was the episode when everything sort of hit the fan for Peacemaker. You know,
Yes.
Hardcore rejected him. He goes to visit her. He gets caught. He gets arrested, and
Mhm.
he gets absolutely beaten by
Oh
Rick
my
Flag Sr. Oh my gosh, that knee to the face, brutal, so brutal. But this episode was really good. I really enjoyed
It
it.
really
They do
was.
the fake out Eagly death, and that like hurt my soul. But then there's just that really brutal death by freaking Michael Rooker's character. That was really
Yes.
nasty. But great episode, and I think it ended super strongly with Peacemaker going into the Nazi dimension.
Hey, that's what, and I think it's called Earth X, I
Yeah, Earth
believe.
X,
I
yes.
think that one's Earth X.
Yes.
But, bro, way to get us going because episodes 1 through 4, it was going really good. Like, I know I was the one who was more like, I'm just waiting for episode 5. Like, it's going really good. It's these characters, like Vigilante. Vigilante was the highlight for me in season 2. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I loved the way he wrote all these characters in season 2, but Vigilante was my favorite. He
Yeah,
was my
he was
favorite.
mine. He's so funny.
But yeah, going into episode 5 and even finishing it off with him going through the portal and then seeing, well, Adrian, who is Vigilante, seeing him cry, that messed me up a little bit.
That messed me up.
Seeing Adebayo hug him, that messed me up a little bit. But also seeing Harcourt and how she was just like, no, let's get him back. Let's get him freaking back. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Let's see how this goes. She does care. Because at first I was like, you know what, Chris, go into your dimension. Before I knew, it was a bad dimension.
Yeah.
But I really liked that episode. I really liked that Chris was really just like, there's nothing left for me, bro. Like, and then he's like waiting. He's saying like, is it goodbyes in a kind of way? And the last thing he's doing is Harcourt. Did that mean something? Did the boat mean something to you? No. F off. You know what? Fine. I'm leaving you. And he goes inside the portal, and you're just like, oh, here we go. Now what's gonna happen? But I really liked that. I really did for episode 5.
Yeah. Moving on to episode 6, Ignorance is Chris. This is the episode. This is the episode when everything is revealed and you get everything.
My gosh.
But I think what's funny is the ending is so good, but the best scene in this episode is when Adrian goes to his house in the alternate dimension.
Yes!
Oh my gosh. So funny. When he's walking around the house and he walks to his porch and he's like, you're a chipmunk in my dimension. He walks through his door and he's just all giggly. He's laughing. He's like, he looks at like the thing with like the 6 cats and he's like, you guys are 3 cats. What do 6 cats have to talk about? And then he keeps walking.
Cheerios?
Yeah, Cheerios. And then he takes the box with him. He walks, he sees his mom and his dad sitting on the couch. He's like, my dad's not gay here. And he starts laughing. Oh my gosh, dude. It's genius. And then when he opens the door and he sees himself and they're the exact same person.
Yes.
They're literally identical. They're like doing like their favorite Pokemon. They're, oh, we Spider-Man memed. And they start doing it back and forth. Just genius, dude. It's so funny. Oh my gosh, dude. But like, sorry.
Oh, my bad.
No, go.
That was my favorite part of the episode because I knew he was gonna run with that, and I knew there was gonna be one thing that was gonna be different. And I love James Gunn for making it the key point to show this universe is different. Yeah, and who's our best friend? And then he just says Peacemaker, and he's like, Peacemaker? What the?
I hate
Why are you
guy.
friends with that guy? I hate that guy. That's my mortal mortal enemy or something.
My sworn enemy. Literally everything I do down here is literally to get rid of him.
And then he was like, why? And then I instantly went, is he? I instantly thought, is he? I think it's true. And then right when it shows the flag on the desk, and even when it showed Adebayo walking out.
Oh my god.
When Adebayo went outside, I went, no.
I know. I was sitting there like, oh, why are you doing that? Oh my gosh. And everyone's like, what do they yell? They're like, black.
It's
and they
a
all
black.
like, they start honking their horn and they like all get out of their houses. Oh my gosh, dude, so funny. I like that scene as a callback to the first season when Peacemaker's running out of the forest. And it's like the KKK guys running out.
That was such a good ending to an episode, and also the build up hype for episode 7, because the whole time they're in that dimension, obviously I'm like, man, Chris, I feel bad for you. But even Harcourt looking around going like, what the heck? I was like, okay.
Dude, Harcourt picking up on it immediately is so funny. And when she reunites with Peacemaker and she's like, I haven't seen a single person of color here. And he goes, what? Like, that's kind of weird. Like, he doesn't even, he's like, you're crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, so good, dude. But yeah, that ending was good. That was definitely the highlight. Moving on to episode 7, I think is the episode. That's the best episode of the season. All the performances were firing all cylinders. Everything is now hitting the fan. But the opening is so funny because she's like, you didn't notice that, like, he's like, you didn't notice this was a Nazi dimension? He's like, you didn't see the German book right there? And he's like, you think a guy this buff knows how to read? He's like, okay, what about that mural of Hitler right there? And it like cuts and it's like, I swear I didn't know that was there. Like,
that's the best line of the whole episode.
Yeah,
when he's just like,
for real.
I didn't even see that there. You know what I instantly thought when he said that? I was like, how did we not see that there?
Because they never show that corner. They never do.
I was like, how did I not notice?
I can't wait to rewatch it and see if you ever like at least get a hint that there's like at least a mural there. Like the walls like in the corner you could see it got painted over. I would love to see that. But oh dude, that's so funny. But up until the fight, when things aren't as funny anymore. And like,
Oh
dude, it
man.
gets serious, bro. When White Dragon is Chris's dad, when he's talking about how like, oh no, dude, like he's getting mad at Chris's brother for like chasing Adebayo, and like why
Mm-hmm.
do you think like this, like that's what we're supposed to do? And he's like, no, like I raised you so bad, and look at this Chris. He didn't do it on purpose. He just wants love. Like there's obviously
Yeah.
something wrong with where he comes from. Like there's a problem. And sure, I might live in this world, but I don't like it. And like I just do what I can, but you can tell like there's a lot, and this is so good. It's like that speech, that monologue says
Yes.
so much, but it also like there's so many things that you could tell he's still not the best guy ever
Yeah.
because he's not part of some resistance. Like he's a rich
Mhm.
dude, he's a rich guy that's chilling, and he's like, I only do so much, like I do what little. So it's like he's not an
Mhm.
awful guy, but he's definitely not doing like anything like enough to
Yeah.
like really. And it's definitely a commentary on all the stuff we see in the world today. Like that's a very normal thing where like a lot of rich people aren't evil per se, but they don't do a whole lot that like is actually going to help because they want to live comfortably, It's like
Mhm.
that balance. And I just thought that was a really unique twist for the character because I wasn't expecting that.
Mhm.
Um but
I never expected that. Like
no,
that was
yeah.
probably my favorite. I want to say yes. That was my favorite moment of this season because it came out of nowhere. I was thinking it was just like, oh, like I thought he was gonna be like, we're also not from this dimension, and then he's gonna be like, why we need to get you guys back over there because we need to keep our spot here because it's nice here. Like I know the whole Nazi thing, not very good, but we live comfortably. We have this big house, everything. But right when he goes in that speech where he's like, no, I don't support that. Like, why would I support that? Like, you think just because I'm me, like I just support that? No. Like, and he's given the speech going like, I hope that when you guys get back home, everything's better. And then, oh man, right when I saw Vigilante, I went, no! I literally hit on my screen. I was like, no, stop, wait 5 seconds, let him finish, no. And then right when he comes in, call back to the Peacemaker running away from the KKK and him jumping on Homeboy's back and stabbing him in the neck, Augie. Instantly, I went, Chris. I instantly thought of Peacemaker and I was like, I'm so sorry.
Dude, that was rough. What's so bad though is that's such an intense moment that you don't
Yes.
realize the other vigilante breaks through the other window when he didn't need to. I don't know if you noticed that. Like vigilante breaks through and starts like killing him, and then the other one breaks through the other glass and he didn't need to. And it's like, bro, like I didn't laugh in the moment, but I was scrolling and I on my computer and I saw like people pointing that out. I go, I didn't even notice that. Like
Yeah.
that's so funny.
I
Ugh.
saw it and I instantly went, oh yeah, this is vigilante, bro. Like Jim jumping through the glass and then the other one jumping through the glass. I saw it in the middle of the scene, but I was too busy. Like, is he gonna kill him or is Chris gonna stop him in time for him to
Yeah.
get a couple of last words in? But no, vigilante kills Peacemaker's dad again, and yeah, it turns into an Oscar-worthy dramatic moment.
Oh no, for sure. He should be nominated. John Cena is insane in this moment. When I want to talk about really fast his brother's like dialogue back to his dad when
Mhm.
obviously Chris's dad's talking about like, well, like like Chris wasn't the best. He was kind of a screw up. He had all these
Yeah.
problems. Like he did all this, and he's like, but that's your son. That's my brother. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, but like, look, he didn't mean any harm by it. It's like, no, this guy killed my brother. I love that dialogue so much. But
Yeah.
all that to say, when they're beating him up like brutally, and
Mhm.
Peacemaker's just sitting there watching his world get torn apart again.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
gosh, dude. And his reaction, like that. Dude, I'm getting chills just talking about it. Like, it was so good. Him freaking out and telling them all to stop. And it doesn't end with, like, his brother getting up and then getting in some big fight. He's forced to kill his brother. It just ends with them leaving. And, like, Hardcore tries, but it doesn't work out. But they just, like, leave. And that's it. It's, again, it's so risky. I don't think too many shows would do that. But it paid off so well and was so it felt so in line with where the show was going, and
Yeah.
it felt like it's so interesting that like he got to preserve at least that one thing for him, even if his brother hates him now. It's like he got to preserve that at least. And I just thought that was a freaking phenomenal scene.
I low key have a small theory about his brother. A
Hit
small
me,
one.
hit me.
I haven't seen anything. Just to point this out, I don't know if people are talking about this or not. I think that his brother, because of this event, I know his dad was talking to him, going like, "Chris wasn't all that good, like our Chris or whatever, and we should all change and everything." But his brother, seeing his dad get killed, finding out that the Chris he was hanging out with this whole time wasn't his brother, and in fact killed his brother, and knowing all of his friends are from another universe, I think that he's going to assemble the Earth X heroes, and they are going to go on a rampage. There's going to be a second. He's probably going to go to their world, the
I could
DCU.
see that. That's a really good theory. I could see that.
I think that's what's going to happen, because him getting into that ambulance at the end of the episode and having that rage on his face, I can tell he's instantly going to be thinking, "I'm going to do whatever I can." Almost like Manta Ray in Aquaman, when he was like, "I'm going to kill Aquaman." That was the exact face he had. He's going to do something to get to that dimension to kill Peacemaker.
Yeah. I think if anything, if they don't do that, I can also see him just teaming up with Rick Flag. Now they have like the exact same motive. I mean, like we'll talk about in episode 8 what happens at the end anyway, but like
Yeah.
I could see him coming into that dimension and teaming up with Rick Flag because of something that's I have an idea that's more than likely going to happen at the end of episode 8, but we'll talk about it right now. You have anything else you want to talk about episode 7 really fast?
No, I just think that that was a very well done and well written episode.
Oh, so good. So
Very
good.
well done.
All right. Now we're flash forward to episode 8, the most controversial episode of the show. So I was watching it and I was expecting Peacemaker's brother to come back and fight him, and they do the big epic fight. It wasn't until like 15 minutes into the episode I realized, like, oh wait, like are we just getting wrap ups of all the storylines? And then I settled into that, and I was just like sort of watching it, and oh my gosh, dude, I was smiling ear to ear the entire time. It was genius. I don't know, dude. There's something about it. Like, I understand like the Rick Flag stuff in the beginning, maybe like wasn't that interesting, and it's like, oh, they didn't do that here. But I think it sets up so much for DC.
Yeah. No, you okay?
Sorry. Yeah, I think it does so much for DC actually. And like having Rick Flag Sr. team up with Luther, really?
Yes.
That's a big deal.
God.
That's a really big deal. And not even just that, but also like I think the then assemblance of Checkmate, which also happens, another big deal. And then the third thing of them doing Salvation Planet. Like, that's a big deal. This is what I'm saying, okay? Everyone was like, Peacemaker, James Gunn gassed up these last 3 episodes. He said episode 8 was supposed to be the best thing ever. Like, he said he was so excited for it. My guy. Like, oh, how does this set up Man of Tomorrow? Okay, James Gunn, the guy that gave Weasel a freaking redemption story. You're telling me he wouldn't be excited about introducing a super unknown, low-key, like, a superhero team like Checkmate, which I don't know anything about. Maybe they're super popular. I wasn't familiar with them. A super low-key team like Checkmate, and then introducing a pretty big plotline in the DC Comics. Like, why wouldn't he be excited about that? That is literally the most James Gunn thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So, it amazes me that so many of you are like, oh, yeah, I think that's pretty lame, and I don't see how that connects. What do you mean? They're putting metahumans in a different dimension. Why wouldn't Superman care about that? Literally, why wouldn't he care about that? I don't understand, like, why that's not something. And even if it's not answered in Man of Tomorrow, like, that's a great plot point. And that's a fantastic plot point. So I literally have no understanding why that was such a big deal. Because you guys didn't get your big final fight and Superman didn't show up. Screw you guys. I'm sorry, dude. What happened to the years of good writing, bro? You know? Like, I don't understand, like, why we beg so much for great writing in these shows, but once we're given it, we complain. I don't understand it, bro. If you want that, you can go watch your MCU slop, all right? You can go watch your little cameo fest, Marvel Zombies. I'm sorry, I'm mad right now. Marvel Zombies crap, all right? Because you can go enjoy it. Go enjoy it, please. I'm happy that you enjoy it. But keep some of the, like, quality content for me, because I don't need y'all to enjoy it. I was more than satisfied with that ending. Anyway.
Honestly, my bad.
No.
Honestly, I'm right with you. Because here's the thing. At the start of the episode, I was keeping track. I was like, oh, they're showing us what happened on the boat. They're showing us a little start of it. Okay, I like that.
Good.
And then when they continued it on, I was kind of like, oh, this is going a little longer than expected. And then when I saw the 15-minute mark, and I believe it was 36 minutes, I was kind of like, oh no, I'm not gonna get my cameos. But then I saw them going through the portals. I saw them, and instantly I got hyped because I'm like, oh wait. So if Lex Luthor and Rick Flag are teaming up, or Rick Flag Senior are teaming up, and going through all these different dimensions, guys, you don't know how bad this can get. Like that's instantly what got me into it. But once again, I'm not getting some cameos. But then what really sells me is, well, Peacemaker having that conversation in the motel room with Adebayo,
Oh
Harcourt,
my
Economos.
gosh. Oh my
Instantly,
gosh.
the whole time I'm thinking, where are my cameos? Where are my cameos? But right when I hear that conversation and hearing them come to him and hearing them like open up to him saying, you're a miracle. I instantly just sat back and I went, oh,
So good.
oh man. And when she starts crying a little bit, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's wrapping it up so well. But just like you, I didn't hear anything about Checkmate. I think I heard one person talk about that, but I didn't look too much into it. I didn't know they were a superhero team until you said it or something. Or are they a superhero team or?
Yeah, they're like a government organization that like has
Okay,
superheroes on their team. They're like
got
artists,
you.
I think. But like I think
Yeah,
they're more private. I think they're like a private institution.
got you. So hearing that, seeing them, well, one, seeing it get wrapped up a little bit, and also seeing having Rick Flag Senior throw Peacemaker into I'm gonna say Salvation
Yeah,
dimension
that's what
or
they called it.
whatever.
Yeah.
I instantly went, oh, there's a lot of storylines they can do here, and also people are forgetting this can be investigated by the Green Lanterns. This could go into
You
Green
think?
Lantern a bit. I think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe I'm not trying to overhype and go like if
Yeah.
it's not in there, I'm gonna be mad. But I think that there could be endless possibilities where it could be investigated. For example, Superman with Man of Tomorrow. But also, I could see the Green Lanterns investigating it, or I could see another superhero being introduced through the Salvation thing. I've never read the Salvation comic book or the Salvation Planet. Is that what it's called?
Well, so just the salvation. It's just a dimension. It's
Okay.
like it's a planet where they throw metahumans.
Yeah, but it's like there's endless possibilities they can do with that, and that's what got me hype. I'm like, yo, there's still good. That was still a good cameo right there. He introduced like you said, a core comic book storyline in the DC Comics universe.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it's that word that pisses me off. I think I just
Mhm.
don't like the word cameo. Like I
I
think the
know.
fact that like everything has to be like a oh yeah, cameo fest because Superman was relevant in the plot. You know, that's not a cameo. That's just like that's like saying like, "Oh, in Superman when when Guy Gardner was there, that's a cameo." No, it's
Mhm.
not. He's in the movie. Like that's or like when in Spider-Man No Way Home when the Spider-Man show up, that's a cameo. No, it's not. Like they're in the movie. Like they're like present. It's not a throwaway gag. It's not just a thing. It's like let's. I think that word is so overused, and I think we should like. I think we need to like stop using it because it's just.
Mhm.
I think it builds unhealthy controversy, and I think it builds an unhealthy conversation.
Oh yeah.
Um, but anyways, yes, that conversation in the motel room was so good. I think the conversation with Adebayo and her now ex was so good too. When
That
they
was really
they just
good.
talk about growing apart, I think that again, like just prime writing, like it's so good.
Mhm.
But my favorite scene in that episode is when after the conversation he runs outside. He's like, "Hardcore, okay, did the boat mean
Yes.
something?" And she goes, "Yeah, Chris, it did. It did mean something." And then he goes inside, the freaking needle drop, the intro music hits, and he jumps, he starts dancing. Oh my gosh, dude. That was peak. That genuinely did so much for me. And I think that like I don't know. I'm getting chills again just talking about it. That was such a
Mhm.
good scene and it felt like the payoff was so worth it. Like it was like that build up for it was literally genius.
Yeah.
Gosh, dude.
I even just think about it again. I'm still shocked that I did like it because once again, you know me. I love me some cameos, but this really was a very well done episode. Like once again, just like episode 7, maybe not as good as, or I didn't like it as much as episode 7, but I
Yeah.
still liked it. Like I
Mhm.
still liked that it finished up everything in a bow. Where it's like if we don't get a season 3, I mean, he already confirmed we're going to see the characters again, but this is
Yeah.
a pretty good way to wrap up season 2 of Peacemaker.
Mhm.
So I think he did a very good job. And I also think that this is a good way to bring them into the DCU if you're really just done, or not bring them into DCU, but the major
Like
plot
the
of
storyline,
the
yeah.
DCU. Yeah. Like, I think that is incredible. That's incredible planning, incredible directing, incredible writing, just an incredible job, man. Like I don't know
Um,
why people aren't more excited.
yeah, I know, dude. Like, it's just because people are boring. I'm sorry. Like, I think people are just so boring. Um, I think I will say I do. Part of me does wish Peacemaker didn't end up in the dimension. Like, I
Mm,
think that kind of took me for a loop when like it bothered me a little bit knowing that
mm.
they weren't doing a third season and that he was just put there. I think if they talked about Salvation Planet, left it as that.
Anthony.
That's my brother.
Yes, sir.
I think if they talked about the planet and left it as that, I would have been more happy with Peacemaker having a happy ending.
Mm,
But like once that sort of settled, I was like, no, I'm very happy with this. Like I was still
yeah.
very happy at the end. I was like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? But I don't get it, dude. I really don't know what people wanted. Well, okay, never mind. I know what people
You know,
wanted. I think I think I treat episode 7 as the ending and episode 8 as an epilogue. I think episode
mm,
8 had very heavy epilogue vibes where it just wraps
yes.
everything up, and episode 7 was the big dramatic ending that everyone wanted.
Mm.
You know?
I think that's why I'm fine with it because
Yeah,
episode
same.
7 was exactly what I wanted in this season. Like, if I had more, I would have been like, this is the greatest show of all time. This is the
Yeah.
greatest, like, but this, like I said, very well directed, very well written, and very well executed.
Yeah. It was
Simple.
fantastic.